Hi, it's me, Prophet M30. This is episode 4 of my How Did They Do That series. I'm going to show you how I built the base game 5K starter. It's a cute home for under 5,000 simoleons, a quarter of the normal price for a Sims 4 starter home. The trick is to use free stuff wherever possible. I'll show you how. I started with platforms for the bottom floor, second floor, and roof. Almost all of the construction is zero cost. You can see that by saving it to the library and seeing that its value is 0. I made the front of the house using pieces of roof. I pressed the Alt key while making the roof taller, so I had just the right amount of height for 2 stories. I used the white dot control to make the roof round, then entered Shift-C on the keyboard to make it smoother. Now let's make it prettier by decorating it. After copying the roof to the other side, I make a glass roof for the front window. Thanks so much to Blue Sky 1 for showing me this technique. I hold down the Shift key while expanding the glass so it expands on one side only. I made similar roofs on the back, but they're steeper and they're not curved. Let's start making the entryway. Walls cost money, so we'll use platforms instead because they're free. I copy the little platform piece a lot and then raise the platforms as high as they can go to look like thick walls. Then I added roofs to make entryway windows. I used a platform to make the entryway roof, but notice there's a small gap between the wall and the roof. That's because the game only allows you to raise a platform one shorter than full wall height, so the lower wall isn't quite tall enough. To compensate, I'll expand the roof so you can't see the gap. Next, I use platforms to fill in the rest of the walls, leaving a gap over here to get to the entryway. And upstairs I just filled them in. I also built walls for a bathroom and also made a little bit of a privacy wall, a shorter wall in the back. There are gaps in these walls too, so I decided to fix them using a decorative hipped roof. I decided to put the hipped roof all the way around the edges on top, and then raise up the roof so it looks pretty. Now let's decorate all of the platforms with an industrial brick look. Then paint the floors with different colors of construction quality concrete, which is free. I used the Control F key to make quarter tiles so I can paint designs on the floor. I painted the inside and the roof too. We've almost finished constructing the shell of the house, so let's see how much it costs. 0 simoleons. Wow. We are going to have to make a wall for the front door, and that's going to cost money. And the door costs money too. Let's see how much. We've spent a whopping 218 simoleons to complete the shell of the house. I completed the house by decorating it using free and inexpensive items. Inside, the floors are construction quality concrete, which is free. Even the part that looks like grass is just a different color. I used 5 gorgeous pieces of art from Fruit Loops 40. They costed 10 simoleons each. To use her art, go to the gallery and enter Fruit Loops 40's EA account ID. Then you can save the beautiful art of your choice to the library, to your own library, and then place it in your game. The smaller paintings and frames are low-cost 10 simoleon art. The larger ones, usually with no frames, are about 1,000 to 3,000 simoleons. I made this pretty little planter out of free debug items. In fact, all of the plants in the whole build are debug items. Enter these commands if you want to use debug cheats in your builds, and then you can get debug items. I'm entering the commands now, and I press escape when I'm done. Let me show you how I made the plant on the counter. First I searched for the debug items. Then I scrolled down to find the plant stand. Then I used the left square bracket key to make the plant stand smaller, and then used the 9 key to raise it up to the height of the counter. The commands I entered earlier included turning move objects on, which is needed for the 9 key to work. Then I added in another pretty little debug plant. I made this little coffee table out of a platform and decorated it, kind of like this. The bedroom upstairs is a loft. I didn't want to spend money on a railing, so I used a platform with plants on it instead. I think it looks prettier, don't you? The bedroom has a pretty plant stand too. In the backyard there's a pond. Let's see the final cost. $4,673. There's something to be aware of. The 50 simoleons we spent on art is not included in this number. For some reason, the game doesn't include the cost of gallery art on this screen. But if you go back to the world and look at the cost of this house, the cost of the gallery art is included, as well as the cost of the lot. 50 simoleons doesn't make a lot of difference, but if you're trying to share a low-cost house and use gallery art worth thousands of simoleons, people who download your house may not realize the cost of the gallery art until they download it into a lot. I had a lot of fun making this home. I hope I've inspired you to make a low-cost home too. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching.